Well, Paulo Costa is already making built-in excuses. I just woke up, I checked Instagram, I scroll and I see a photo of him sitting in a hospital bed with a cast. And he's telling us in the caption that he got surgery 3 weeks ago and he's fighting through it. He's a tough guy. He's fighting through it. How often do we see fighters making excuses like this leading up to the biggest fight of their career? Usually you don't hear about this stuff until after the fight. This is absolutely pathetic. The fact that Paulo Costa is even showing us this tells me that he is incredibly weak-minded and he wants to put out a built-in excuse already before this fight with Khamzat Chimaev. We're not idiots. We know what you're doing. You're trying to make it seem that if you lose, we can just blame it on the injury and say, well, a healthy Paulo Costa would have won. Or if you at least survive by decision, which is probably Paulo Costa's game plan. I hate to break it to you guys. I don't see Paulo Costa as a hungry animal that's going to go in there trying to win. I just see him as a guy that's going to try to be a tough out. I see Paulo Costa as a guy that's just going to want to make Khamzat Chimaev work. He's going to try to just survive and be stubborn and not get finished. And I think in the process, it'll be a moral victory for him to go to the decision so that he can say, oh, well, if I was healthy, I would have beat his ass. And I just know that when Dana White finds out about this, he's going to be fucking livid. You think Dana White's going to want this? Dana White wants to sell this fight as two Goliaths in the middleweight division. Paulo Costa's out here telling us that he's injured. He's out here telling us that his elbow's fucked up and he needed surgery. I mean, here, he's posting videos of him with a wrap over his elbow, hitting pads with this fucking bandage flailing all around. I mean, this is a weak-minded Paulo Costa. There's just a unwritten rule that you aren't supposed to come out here and tell the public that you have some serious injury. Why would he do this? He understands the game. Paulo Costa, he may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, but he's not that dumb. He knows what he's doing. Okay, he's either A, the best troll on the face of the fucking earth, and he's not actually injured, and he just wants the public to underestimate him because he wants to shock us even more if he gets the job done, or maybe he wants Khamzat Chimaev to underestimate him, or B, he's thinking that he's probably going to lose this fight now and wants us all to know so that when he gets absolutely decimated and bulldozed, we'll have an idea as to why, and maybe we won't look at Paulo Costa as being so shit. There have been so many. Sean O'Malley had a rib injury. Didn't even mention it until the post-fight press conference. He had a rib injury going into the Aljamain Sterling fight. Volkanovski, in his last fight at UFC 290, had an arm injury, and he didn't tell us until his post-fight speech. This is so pathetic. This is terrible. The UFC is going to be pissed because now you and I have no choice but to think about this fight as Paulo Costa being handicapped going in there to fight Khamzat Chimaev and us not thinking it's going to be that competitive because of it, or us thinking that Paulo Costa is just not going to look like the best version of himself. And so we're almost dreading this moment now. I mean, Dana White is going to be pissed, man. He knows how this game works. He knows why fighters don't blast their business all over social media when it comes to injuries before the fight, because it makes the fight less enticing. We need to have the best fighters in their best condition going at it. That's the mindset that the fans need to be in. Paulo Costa's out here telling us that he ain't going to be shit when he fights. Are you kidding me? This is so fucking annoying, man. This guy every goddamn time. Yes, he's not pulling out. Yes, respect to Paulo Costa for being in Abu Dhabi and fighting, but it's like, we don't want you to be telling us that you're just going to be a pathetic man leading up to the fight. Like, if he were to not look his best in the fight, it'd be one thing, and yes, we'd be able to clown him, and yes, we'd be able to say, wow, Paulo Costa ain't that good, and if you told us if he was injured after the fight, we'd say, yeah, you were bullshitting or whatever. But now he's telling us before the fight, and it's like, all right, well, why are we going to get that hype to begin with? Like, for me, for example, I want the best version of Paulo Costa showing up to fight Khamzat Chimaev. I want to think going into the fight, well, at least Costa's going to be, strong, and he's going to be healthy and all this stuff. And now I'm thinking, well, he's going to be a weakened version of himself, and when strength is all he has, it's not even going to be a fight. Injury or no injury, I'm still picking Khamzat Chimaev to decimate this guy. But I hope to fucking God that this guy doesn't pull out. That would absolutely piss me off. But what's new, man? Big Paulo Costa and his big excuses, right? I mean, this is pathetic, man. Let me read you guys this caption. Let me read you this caption. Pathetic from Paulo Costa. How strong are you? He says. You never really know until you get tested by fire of life. I did surgery 3 weeks ago. 10 seam size. But I know how tough I'm to continue improving and overcoming myself. It doesn't stop me, still doing my things, sparring and everything. I'm so blessing. God's given me exceptional condition and surrounded by great peoples. Big Juice Paulo Costa, man. What the fuck is going on, dude? This is absolutely insane. What are you doing? Keep it on the wraps, man. You're not supposed to be telling us this bullshit so that you can have a built-in excuse. You know what I mean? I know you were going to get dominated from the get-go, bro, but now it's even more set in stone. And we're not going to just look at it. Oh my God, this is so annoying because now if Khamzat beats him, people are just going to say, oh, congrats, Khamzat beat an injured Paulo Costa. Big fucking whoop, bro. He still hasn't done anything. And again, I'm not saying that he isn't injured, but he's making a mountain out of a molehill. These are things that people usually cover up going into the fight. It's just the unwritten rule. You're not going to make excuses before the fight. You're not going to go in on fight week and say, you know, I did my best, but I'm injured. So if I lose, take away credit from my opponent because it's not that impressive if they beat me. This is such utter bullshit. Paulo Costa is coping already with an inevitable loss to Khamzat Chimaev. I know a lot of people in the comments are going to be saying, congrats to Paulo Costa beating Khamzat Chimaev injured with the greatest upset in history. But it ain't happening. I'm sorry, man, but Khamzat Chimaev isn't no-chin Grant Dawson. You know what I mean? And Paulo Costa ain't even on a Bobby Green level of striking. And now his rear power hand is injured. And Paulo Costa's a guy that is probably going to need to finish the fight by a fucking jab. It ain't going to happen, man. Paulo Costa with his rear hand injured, if he's truly injured, or maybe he's just trolling us, which, as I said, that would be the greatest troll job in UFC history. But imagine he is injured, he hurt his rear hand, the right hand, and now he can only really throw his jab at 100%. This guy already had a lack of power to begin with. And again, when he was healthy, if he was healthy, Paulo Costa still couldn't knock anyone out because he hasn't ever KO'd anyone. He's had these little pillow punch, you know, flurry combinations where someone just can't take the pressure anymore and they decide to go down. But Paulo Costa's never really knocked anyone down with one shot. It's always like a flurry of 15 punches, which is crazy. You look at the guy, you think he's going to pack a punch. You think he's going to be one of the most devastating hitters in the game, and he can't even knock out an old man, no-chin Luke Rockhold. But again, it's like, what the fuck, bro? So, yeah, I mean, listen, guys, shame on Paulo Costa for diminishing the hype of this fight. Congratulations. People are going to care less about it. Dana White's going to be absolutely livid. And the fans are going to be calling you a built-in excuse maker already. But hey, at least the delusional Paulo Costa fans are going to kiss his ass no matter what and call him a brave hero for just showing up to Abu Dhabi because they don't understand that fighters are not supposed to fucking talk about these injuries before the fight. You know, it's like if you have an injury that's terrible to the point where you need to talk about it, don't even fight. Pull out if it's that bad. Why are you telling us this? You're supposed to tell us after the fight. Until next time.
What's up, guys? It's Lucas Tracy MMA, and I'm wondering if you're trying to look like Yoel Romero. Well, if you don't have his genetics, that's impossible, but I could at least help you get halfway there with my ultimate lifting program, and if you're a beginner, my novice lifting program. These are programs that I've used my 9 years of experience in the gym to make so that you can put on as much muscle as possible in as little amount of time as possible. And it'll also give you a variety of workouts so that you never get tired of the gym. So if you're interested, click the link in my description. And for a discount, use code MMA for 30% off.